Oh yeah, look at this beautiful, beautiful heart. Oh my god. Hey everyone, it's Alex Tchaikovsky. I'm Ukrainian, but I live in China for the last 8 years, and 4 of them I live in a city called Chengdu, which recently made news because it went under soft lockdown already more than a week ago. There are many rumors and misunderstandings, so I decided to record this video to make it a bit more clear, like to explain what's going on. So basically I'm talking about outbreaks of COVID. By outbreak I mean any amount of positively tested people somewhere where government didn't see it coming. Doesn't matter was it 1 or like 100, doesn't matter. Usually it is followed by restrictions on social activities, sport facilities would be temporarily closed, schools closed, traveling limitations, within country, within province and even within city, and heavy testing. It is becoming more and more common this year, especially after Shanghai lockdown. You may not be allowed to enter public area unless you have COVID tests like with results made 48 or even 24 hours ago, which means that during outbreak people have to make tests every day. At the same time, tests are becoming more and more available. There are more testing facilities. I'd say where I live there at least like in every block. And price decreased from last year. It was like 30 to 60 RMB, now it's just 3.5 or even 0 when situation becomes more serious. Also they arrange temporary testing sites when it's needed. Oh yeah, of course, and masks. Masks are required nearly everywhere, like all the time. That's just a new reality here. Huh? What? Okay. So to not feel too boring, my wife decided to sell their coffee from home because the coffee shop is closed and I'm responsible for delivery. Kind of fun. So our neighbor from our building asked for the coffee and she said please put it beside my door. And don't forget the tissue. Crazy, right? Okay. Mission accomplished. So what's actually is going on here? We had some small outbreaks now and then. One just happened in the middle of July. Schools closed, 24 hours tests were required and all the events were postponed or cancelled. At the same time, Sichuan suffered greatly all August because of that crazy heat wave that affected hydropower stations. It's like the whole province couldn't use electricity normally. And it was like average 40 degrees in the daytime, really hot and dry. Most of the businesses were not allowed to use air conditioners. That included shopping malls and offices, so people really stayed at home as much as they could, because at home you still could use it. Despite that, seems things slowly became better, social activities were allowed again. But around end of August, like August 28, restrictions started to come back one by one, ending up with announcement on September 2nd that start from 6 p.m. Chengdu will go under this soft lockdown for 3 days. I think they call it soft because they still allow 1 person per apartment go out for like 2 hours per day to buy groceries. Also delivery is working, not as good as it used to, but it's operating. Yeah. But then after first 3 days, government added 3 more days, and then when they passed, they said that they hope to beat the virus in the next week. They even didn't say for how many days longer it will take, but we added 7 days in our calendars, and yeah, nobody think it will finish very soon. Also, the announcement that comes out, they all comes out in midnight I don't know why, but like many old people have to stay up late to wait till the news come out. So here for you to see the road just out of my window. Usually it's quite busy, but now on the occasional taxis, rarely public buses, and a lot of delivery guys on scooters like that one. They're delivering food from supermarkets most of the time, and that's it. Did we have any serious problems with lockdown, except lockdown itself? I'd say not really. Compared with Shanghai, situation is still look well managed. People do panic after like new announcements come, and they cleaning up shelves of supermarkets, but supply chains are functioning. Also, people often ask what local people here think about it. Well, from what I can see now, big amounts of locals are not really concerned about dangers from the virus itself. It was the case before, but now they are very concerned about dangers from getting under epidemic prevention measures, which may be really strict, like disinfecting every apartment in your compound and evacuating everyone despite the test results to quarantine facility. Like all your neighbors, no one wants to make news and be responsible for such a big trouble. So many people really, people they're scared, they're afraid of this. When will it finish? No one can really tell, but it feels like we're talking about weeks rather than days. The question that worried everyone much more is when or will at all this policy change in the future. Because it affects everyone in very bad way. It hits most of the business. It hits customers' ability to spend money. It stops all the development, including all the constructions. I think even government projects. Some of them are working in a closed loop model, but still, most of the people understand that it's harmful, but they prefer to keep quiet and hope that troubles will end soon. That's it for now. I hope I answered some of your questions, and if you have more, just let me know under this video. I've got plenty of time. Be sure I'll answer them all. And thanks for watching. I live in China for the last 10 years, and 4 of them I live in a city called Chengdu. Recently Chengdu